Okay, everybody, welcome. We're going to look at the live cattle futures. Now, these are the December 2021 contracts, and today is November 5th, 2021. For those that are interested in the symbol, that's /LE. Okay, so today we can see the price ended up at 131.7. This is a daily chart. Okay, and I know some of you are not technically savvy. That's okay. I'm going to walk you through it. So we can see that this blue line over here, which is the 50-day moving average, okay, that price has been well above that 50-day moving average, which right now is about 127.07, okay? And it's been above that since, like late September. So that's pretty good. It's been trading above it, okay? But there's a few things that stand out right away, and that is, you see all these yellow dots here? Well, those dots are an indicator that I created that picks up divergences between price and indicators. So not to get too technical, but you'll notice this indicator is going down. Okay, so is this one, they're going down. Okay, but prices on the average during that time have been going up. Okay, usually that means at some point price will pull back. Okay, so just be aware that it feels like the prices are going to pull back on the live cattle futures. Okay. Now, on the MACD, we can see that prices have just kind of flatlined here. Okay, they came up sharply coming out of the middle of September, and then since then they've just been flatlining right here, okay? Amplitude, which is just a type of indicator that helps us understand the distance that the price is away from the 50-day moving average, okay? So it's not too far away. You can see, like back here where it was red, this indicator's color coordinated. So if it gets red, that means the price has gotten kind of far away. As you can see right here, it did. Okay, of course that was a new contract, and the price spiked. But right after that, the very next day, for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even a month, price just declined sharply. Okay, let's take a look real quick. Let me switch over to the 5-year daily chart. Just want to see seasonally, what does live cattle futures do? Do they do the same thing as feeder cattle, and do they taper off? Let's go look at last kind of October, November area and see what we get. Well, they certainly tapered off like late September going into October, then came up and did similarly to what feeder cattle does, traveled along that 50. But it looks like to me, at least last year, the live cattle were a little bit stronger than feeder cattle and stayed above the 50 throughout that seasonal, November, December, January seasonal thing. You all know how it is, all the way to, like, in this case, a little bit of a price jump early on in February, and then sometimes we see it in March as well as the season starts to pick up. Let me look back one more year just to kind of get a feel for what happens seasonally. This year was very interesting. This year was well above the 50 for live cattle. So this will be back in 2019, okay, when the live cattle futures were actually doing really well all the way through the winter, staying well above the 50 days. So we'll see what kind of year we get this year, okay? But prices look like they were severely deflated or suppressed back in 2019. So tell you what, let's go look at the monthly, which is always a good idea to get kind of a long-term feel for where we're at. Okay. Yeah, see, back in 2019, prices were, this is 2019 right here, prices were really deflated and suppressed back in 2019. So not a surprise to see them on the daily for prices to sit above during that seasonal fall winter time. This year is different, right? We're well above the 50. In this case, this is the 50 month. We're well above the 50 month. And prices are strong for now. Okay? They are strong. But they're a little bit moved away, if you will, from the 50 month. But nothing too extraordinary. Not like back here in late 2014-15 where they really got far away from the 50 month and then, came down sharply from 2015 all the way through 2017. I remember this time. It was, oh my gosh, horrible prices. Let's hope we don't go back to that. But on the monthly scale, prices look like they're continuing to go up here. Okay, we are getting a little hot, meaning we're moving away from the 50-month moving average. But so far, really long term, still looks okay. Let's look at the weekly so we can kind of get a feel for what may happen over the next few weeks. Okay. So let's just take a look at this just to help you out technically what we often see. Okay. Price came way above the 50-week and then came back down and touched it, right? So the 50-week acted as support for the live cattle futures, okay? Again, went up for several weeks, came down, didn't quite touch it, but kind of acting as a distant, support there a little bit. Did the same thing coming out of, let's see, that would be about early July-ish, maybe mid-July, all the way up at the end of the summer. Okay, and then came back down and touched the 50-week. So this is kind of a recurring theme that we see. Okay, going on for 2021. So things are a little elevated here on the SMI for the live cattle. It looks like there could be a little more room left to go up. Very flat line on the MACD. So we are a little bit removed from the 50-week moving average. There might be a little more room up above, but I would say that for the live cattle futures, at some point here, maybe next, give it another 2 weeks, maybe we get a little more out of this. Hard to say for sure. Looks like that the live cattle futures over the next few weeks want to come back down to this 50-week moving average, or at least trend down towards it. Now, the good thing is the 50-week moving average is moving up, okay? So on a whole, the prices are still moving up. But like I said, the same thing for the feeder cattle is that it does get kind of seasonal here where prices tend to stall a little bit. But for live cattle, they definitely seem to be stronger, right? The live cattle seems to be kind of strong, well above the 50 here, the 50 week. But I do expect probably the next 2 weeks at some point for it to kind of make its way back down to this 50 week, which is 121. I don't know if we'll get down that far, but just keep a heads up over the next few weeks. We might see a little price decline, or at least, kind of prices stalling a little bit, maybe come back down a little bit. We'll see where that goes. Okay, let's finish up by looking at the daily one more time. How about we switch over, before we go to the daily, let's switch over to the hourly just real quick. Really, really short term here. Yeah, prices on the hourly are getting a little peaky. Got a little alert right there that's basically telling us we might be getting some divergence going on. So we might get like that. Maybe a little more out of this. We'll see. And then prices coming down. Okay. Yeah. So this is what you got going on the hourly. Up and down and up. And the hourly 50 hours, 130.7. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, probably Monday, guys. Sunday night, Monday, maybe Tuesday at the latest. I expect prices to maybe kind of retreat just a little bit here. And 50 is kind of flatlining. So, yeah, we might see prices pull back or kind of come down a little bit going into Monday, Tuesday. Okay, I don't think they'll move up into the 132 area. I think they'll be more inclined to move down, maybe 130-ish for the really, really short term, okay? Yeah, daily looks like it's got a little more room to go up. One last look at the weekly. Weekly looks a little peakish. Okay. So on the daily, maybe a little more room to go up, guys, before it starts tracking back down. On the weekly, I don't know, another week or two at the most here, and I think prices will start to pull back and come back down towards this 50-week. So if we just kind of guess at the best way this is going to come up like this, it's going to come down like that, maybe you're looking at what? Yeah, kind of mid what? This is up here around 132. We might see 125-ish, 126 in a few weeks. Okay, something like that. Next few weeks, I expect prices to kind of pull back into that high 120 area, would be my best guess of what I see going on with pricing for the live cattle futures. Okay, guys and gals, that's it for today's video on the live cattle futures. Do me a favor, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And don't forget to click that little bell to be notified of all the videos as I put them out. We'll talk to you all real soon. Again, next time.